In a world of limitless opportunities and countless challenges, the choices we make manifest themselves into the very roads that guide us. And the tribulations and triumphs that shape, weather, and bind these paths together are the very essence of what makes the world such a beautifully strange place. But we walk our path with no map, in search of answers that nobody has, simply hoping that we don't get lost along the way. So maybe just sharing our story of where we come from and the things that have guided us along the way can be enough to guide those lost in their own path.
I'm Zach Bonanza, and this is the Lost Guidance Podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right, we're live. That'll wake you up on a Sunday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lost Guidance Podcast, episode 16. I'm joined with the great Anthony Z. Donaldson. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
What's happening, dude? Is this possible?
Dude, take it right off and chill. We're chilling today, guys. It's a good Sunday, you know, a little muggy outside, but getting hot in here with these conversations. So my man Z here is a key part of the creation of the Disruption Network. So if you guys haven't seen or followed or just living under a rock, the Disruption Network is a great media content provider in the area, and they're doing a lot with the community, and we'll get into all that. But pause right now if you want and go check it out and come on back. We're going to be talking. So Z, as I like to do with everybody, let's just start at the ground floor. I want to know where you started. You're well known in the community. There's a long path to get you to the Disruption Network, so let's get into it.
Where do I start? Where does it begin?
Where does it begin?
What age do you want me to start from?
Wherever it was the most impactful. When you realized
Most impactful.
you wanted to be a part of this community and provide some content. When was that?
Well, I guess it would start way back in the mid '90s. I guess when I was working at K-Rock, and right around when I started working for K-Rock, all the big dudes came in like Scorch, and we had a fun morning show with I worked on the morning show with the Fat Man and Kid Chris, who went on to do huge things, who's out in Philly right now, or Cincinnati. He's out in Cincinnati, and he's friends with Howard Stern and shit. But anyways,
Nice.
That's probably where the most impactful was, right around that time where I got into like wanting to produce shows and booking shows and that thing. As far as like a musician, that takes me all the way back as a kid.
Okay, so you're loving
Like,
music. Got you.
My
into
whole life, brother.
Yeah.
It's all I know. It's my best friend. It's what I know. It's in my DNA. It's in my blood. Music is all the only thing I know.
For sure. And you're a bit on the heavier side too, right? I figured that.
I'm on
intro
every
music
side, dude. Your intro reminded me of my life.
That's awesome.
You started with this walking jazz bass line, and then all of a sudden, I want to bang my head. And that describes my life.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I thought it was fitting. That's what I try to cater each episode intro to my guest, and yeah, so that's
my ADD kicking in.
Yeah.
It is, because I go from all spectrums of music. You know, growing up, my mom was into Motown, and my dad was in like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin. So I had the
Awesome.
best of both worlds. Mom and I were cleaning the house in the mid-afternoon, jamming out to like Marvin Gaye and the Temptations and the Jackson 5. Michael Jackson was huge. That Thriller album in 1983 was huge in my household, you know. And then to go over to my dad's on the weekends and listen to like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, The Who, Pink Floyd. I remember the first time I heard the Wall, it scared me to death.
Whoa.
You know, it scared me to death. I never wanted to listen to it again.
That's the emotional reaction you remember from that? It's like terror.
Yeah, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever heard that album, I was freaking out. So it goes, and then it goes into teenage years. It's funny because I just told the story the other day. Huey Lewis and the News came on, and I was listening to that Sports album, like 10 years old in 1985, listening to the Sports album. And then somewhere's like that very next year is like when I got into like the Beastie Boys and then Slayer and Anthrax. And it was just a mix of
incrementally
everything.
harder, you know?
Harder, but I was still listening to hip hop though, too.
Yeah.
I was listening to like Public Enemy, and Lottie Dottie was huge when I was in elementary school. The original Lottie Dottie, not Snoop Dogg. Talking Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew and stuff.
Nice.
And
That's
then
old school.
And then it moved moved up until like I even got into NWA. But at the same time, I was still listening to, Anthrax, Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, the big four.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the glam bands. I was still into all of that. And then the cheesy Mom Drive You to School songs, Phil Collins and shit like that. So everything. I loved music.
That's awesome.
I loved the music.
So that kind of, you knew you were going to get your foothold in the door of some sort of music-related career.
Plus, my dad was a musician, and he was a touring musician, played in wedding bands and stuff like that. So
awesome.
At like an early age, I was moving his gear.
Yeah, so
at
this is
5
in your
years
genetic
old.
code then.
Yeah, right. And my
For sure.
grandfather was an organist at St. Anthony's Church in Utica for like 100 years.
Awesome.
Not 100, but like 40 years. He was there forever. And my grandfather, Wes Donaldson, was one of the most talented musicians.
Really?
Super, super talented on the organ, keyboards, piano.
Yeah.
He played in. He was a professional musician.
So that's
his whole
definitely in your. Do you play any instruments yourself?
life. Yeah. I played in bands for years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So a bass. Bass is my forte. I grew up playing guitar. I wanted to play drums and realized that
You
I
had the
sucked at playing
rhythm.
drums.
You had the rhythm though, so you.
Yeah, I can hold a beat, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you're a part of the music. That's what's cool about it.
Right.
So you were in bands prior to going on the radio, or during, after? Or?
Right around the same time, but my music career has always taken a backseat to my radio or podcasting career. I feel like. When I got into radio, I stopped playing music for a while, and then also I owned a bar for 10 years, and having that took a backseat. But then right around the mid-time, I was in the middle of a breakup, and my buddy decided, like, hey, let's get a band together, and we'll get all these chicks.
That always
That
works.
was a great idea. Sure. Yes, let's do it. So we formed Chokeslam,
Okay.
which was a band that we used to dress up like WWE wrestlers, and I would wear Nacho Libre mask, and my Johnson, the lead singer, would paint his face up like the Ultimate Warrior.
You're freaking Rey Mysterio out there.
Oh,
That's
dude,
awesome.
it was Rey Mysterio mask, as a
That's
matter of fact.
awesome.
I own like 7 of them.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
I love those masks.
Yeah.
I love
The
those
Lucha
masks.
Libre ones, yeah.
So yeah, and to play that, and then Street Rock Mafia came out, Brass Knuckle Intercourse. We had the metal band out for a while with Matt Osowski, Dave St. Ange, and Lenny Milano. That was a lot of fun.
Brass Knuckle Intercourse.
Oh yeah, straight metal. Had like a Pantera vibe,
Yeah.
and, a little hard hitting, but also had a funky groove to it as well. Because that's my forte. Is like I love that whole that pocket.
Yeah.
I love that funky groove.
The funk.
Yeah, I like that.
We were down there jamming. We listened to Sophistafunk a few months back, man, and that a vibe like that gets the crowd rolling.
Indeed.
So it's contagious.
It's contagious
For sure.
And when you put an edge on it, put
Yeah.
some balls to it, man, I'm a fan.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I'm a fan.
So you could tell this is definitely in your roots. Then this is like generations of musical inclination.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so you get on the radio. You're with K Rock for a while. You just did a Me 98.7 plug during the sound check here.
Yeah, I slipped in my Delilah voice.
That was good, dude.
Yeah, so K-Rock lasted for a little while, and then I bumped over to WOUR for a while. And before WOUR got all sorts of corporate and stuff, and I remember it was Woodstock 99, and this was the incident that I left.
Okay.
It was Woodstock 99, and we were doing this ticket giveaway, and I made caller number 7 believing she was caller number 8, type of thing, and ended up hanging up on her. And it was a great bit. It was hilarious. In fact, my buddies were calling me, "See, that was freaking great, man. That was awesome." Anyways, the program director didn't like it. It was like, and I had just recently came over from K-Rock, and it was like we're a heritage station and blah, 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 blah. And he just gave me the spiel. He had it in for me from the beginning. But anyways.
You just thought it was like a bad joke.
Yeah, I think it was good. I thought it was great radio.
I thought
it was great.
kinda
I
funny.
totally hung up on the woman. But here, and the coincident part about this, the next day I'm working the shift, and don't you know the woman that I hung up on the day before ends up winning the next day.
Oh, really?
Coincidence on my show.
That's
the
crazy.
very next day.
The same
Coincidence. The same woman that I
crazy.
hung up on the night before
That's insane.
ended up winning the next day.
The world works in mysterious
Crazy.
ways.
She's like, "Don't you remember?
The
You were
universe
the one that hung
wanted
up on me. Don't you remember?" I'm like, "Yeah, honey, I got yelled at for it. Of course I remember."
almost got canned.
I almost got
Dude,
canned
the
for it.
the
but
world wanted her to have them tickets, I guess.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. And I'm glad she won.
Yeah,
I mean,
good
that's
for
a
her.
great story, and that's weird shit like that happens to me on the on the regular. But yeah, so I bounced out of WOUR, and I was like, "Screw it, man! I'm going on fish tour, bro. Me and my boys, we're gonna pack up. We're going on fish tour. We're gonna sell necklaces and macaroni
You're
salad.
just gonna busk it along.
Yeah, we're gonna just go and be vagrants.
You're gonna sell. What'd you just say? You're gonna sell necklaces and macaroni salad.
I'm serious. For real. So we're gonna go all over the country. We're gonna file fish, and my buddy's band was playing at the time, and they set up in the parking lot. And I was playing like tour manager, and we were doing the thing, and traveled all over the country, and it was great experience. I learned a lot, and ate at soup kitchens, and like had to deal with some humbling experiences being on the road, broke as fuck, no money. So dealt with a lot of those experiences as well.
That's a hardening experience, I can imagine.
Oh man, we were in the middle of San Francisco, like $0 and playing drums out like Haight-Ashbury with a hat out, like one of those fisherman hats, and trying to collect dollar bills and stuff, so we could get like a McChicken sandwich and a 40.
Yeah,
and like the three of us would split that McChicken sandwich and a 40. Like it was rough.
That's
and
crazy.
My parents had lived in Vegas at the time, and we showed up on my mom's doorstep after being a month on the road, no showers, and she's like, "Get your fucking ass in the shower, shave." Like she's like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you,
get
child?
It together.
Get it together, man." Get it
that's
together.
great.
But all those life-changing moments, man, have really kind of formed who I am, and which is a vagrant degenerate, but it still
An
continues on.
honest
But no, it has formed all those learning experiences, man.
Yeah.
Has made me deal with life situations a lot better.
Totally, and that's like a big underlying theme to this podcast is that each one of us has these crazy moments and these awesome stories that bring us to where we are now, and now we can chat about how it's molded you and led you to where you are, and how happy you are now and enjoying your work with the deal, which again we're getting into. But so after you do this tour,
right? So
you
from
come back.
after, that lasted a couple of years, Bill. That lasted a while,
like you
man.
shaved and you were back out the door.
That lasted a while.
See you later, Ma.
But it actually ran into I was painting Victoria's Secrets all over the country, well, on the Northeast, and it was right during like 9/11. I was in a hotel room in Albany. We were painting Victoria's Secrets in Saratoga, and when 9/11 happened, and I was doing that, and the guy that I was working with, him and I had the idea of opening up a bar, and we got the motions and going, and everything was happening, and just so happened he owned a bar previous to that and couldn't get a liquor license, so that kind of left me in a weird situation. So I had to call in on a friend, and this friend totally bailed me out. Laura, love her to death, Laura Roberto, and Laura and I formed the electric company, which we were there on Varick Street, which was Wakely's, and it was Shots. But back when I was growing up, it was known as the Lily Langtree's, one of the first bars I ever got drunk in at a young age, but that's for another story. Opened up the electric company in 2002, and that went to 2012.
Awesome.
And that's when I refer to those years as my blackout years. Indeed.
Like a good blackout.
I don't know.
I don't know.
A lot of good, but a lot of bad.
But everyone tells me it was great.
Well, everybody tells me it was great too. I'm
was
like,
a
I wish
great
I could
decade.
remember. Yeah, it was a great decade for sure. And we made some lasting friendships at the EC and created this culture here that Utica was lacking for a little while.
For sure. And, that is something that I have people always bring it. I'm like, do you know Z over the district? They're like, oh, you mean the guy part of the electric company? I'm like, yeah. It was a really kind of fundamental part, just as Varick Street is and Saranac Thursdays, all these fundamental aspects. And you still have like, what is it? CP nights, like Chicago Pneumatics used to be over down off Bleecker, right? Or something?
Yeah, off towards the
and
side,
now you still got kids today riding around in their cars and everything because
CP
it's just
night.
like it's a fundamental part of the Utica
still
area.
do that,
They
CP night?
They still do CP nights.
It was like
dude.
Wednesday night over there.
Yeah, the old
wow,
car
that
shows.
still happens.
That still happens,
I did
dude.
not know that. You're blowing my mind.
It's
right
the
now.
freaking fundamentals of the area, and so like that was cool that you brought that. Like you said, it was something lacking in the area, and you kind of filled the void.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what you managed to begin doing with the Disruption Network, and it's bringing podcasts and communal content to this area is something that no one else, until I met you guys, I didn't even know happened in the area. And all my friends, they're like, apart from you, dude, I don't know another person who has a podcast, really. And that's the next void.
Well, there are other local podcasts.
Right, but I mean, like personally, people don't know too many people. Getting a little crazy out there, ain't
I
it?
like it, actually.
It's
That's
a nice
good
breeze, yeah. But it's cool that you recognize, and even though maybe you're putting your musical career on the back burner, you're recognizing
There's no career there, though, bro.
But, like-
there really isn't. And all it is to feed my creative soul and
Right.
to, have fun. Playing music is supposed to be fun, and when it turns into a business is when it becomes a career.
But it's cool that you still wanted to stay involved just in the directing side of it, kind of thing, like
Right,
the
of
coordination
course,
of
yeah.
it, and you still brought that shit to people. So that's cool.
It's funny because I've worked in all aspects of music, all aspects as far as booking, touring, playing, promoting,
Yeah.
producing, running,
Very cool.
stagehand, sound, lights. I've done every facet of music.
Very cool,
and,
man.
at a high level too. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
No.
I've done a lot of shit.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's impressive, and that's what makes somebody a well-rounded person, and that's why people kind of appreciate your advice and guidance in terms of things like that, and why people are so willing and wanting to partner and coordinate things with you guys, which is very awesome to see.
Yeah, man. I gotta throw a shout out though to the Captain Trips though, Rainforest Preserve, because like the Rainforest Preserve is where I got my start too. Like I booked shows. In fact, it's been like 20 years since I booked my first show. It was like on my birthday for like my 22nd or 23rd birthday at the Rainforest Preserve, which is no longer there anymore. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Because that place
Where was this? I don't even know of it.
You know where Slice Pizza is?
Yeah.
You know that vacant lot next to Slice Pizza?
Yeah.
That was Captain Trips.
Really?
And the who's who played at Captain Trips. You name it. I mean, young Joe Bonamassa was there.
Okay, wait. So did the Blue Oyster Cult play there?
Blue Oyster Cult played there.
My boss, Jim, if you're watching this, buddy, he played Woodstock '99 as well, but he opened for the Blue Oyster Cult there.
Oh, yeah?
And he said he was eating at a pizza or a Chinese place that used to be around the
It's
corner.
still right there.
That's the same one?
It's the same one.
He said he was eating there, and freaking who was it?
Buck Dharma from Blue Oyster Cult.
No, from Government Mule.
Warren Haynes.
Warren Haynes
Yeah.
was there eating Chinese food, and they just had Chinese food together.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're right. Like
Everybody has played there.
That's
man.
the who's
They
who,
used
huh?
to have the Jerry Band come through. Mo played there under the name Monkeys on Ecstasy one night. They used to have some great old 80s rockers.
Monkeys
like,
on Ecstasy. That's
Yeah,
what they played under?
They had to do like that's the moniker they came under, and it sold out in seconds. I mean,
That's
that was
crazy.
one of the most wildest nights in Trips history. But I first started booking shows there in like 1998 or. I don't know. Like I said, it's all blackout. But anyways, somewhere's around that.
Sometime between that decade.
Yeah, we were doing good stuff too. John Brown's Body I brought there, and there was a lot of great regional bands that were. The scene was pretty fertile.
How'd you get
back
set up
then.
with being the coordinator of talent there? Like, how'd you?
Oh, I just called Tommy. Tommy was a friend. He's still a great friend. In fact, if it's not for Tommy, there's no Disruption Network as well, and that's why I got to throw a little shout out to them. Tommy is the one that got us in contact with our landlord Frank, and that's why we're in that building right now.
Okay.
And Frank used to work down at Trips back in the day as well, and so it's a nice little circle that we have going on, and it's funny that we continue helping each other out all these ways too, all these years.
Yeah.
and it's huge. He got my start, back in 1998, and we were doing a bunch of fun things, and we did a lot of great concerts. And then we had a falling out because I opened up the electric company, and then we got back together on a New Year's at the Hotel Utica, and it was just like, man, reconnecting again, and we started doing shows again together, and it's fun. And now we got Disruption Network, and it's really all because of Tommy and Frank for helping us out.
That's awesome, man.
with the space and the place and.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the people who help you kind of get to where you are and give you some of the underlying things, the fundamentals,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I could do a whole thank you list, and we would be here for about 5.5
Just the
hours.
fast scrolling credits.
Yeah, I'd have to go slow, and that's why I would take, because I want
Right.
everybody to catch their name.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many out there, man. I've been blessed to have such great people have my back throughout many years.
And that's just it, and kudos to everybody who steps in and helps each other, and that's what it's about, community and stuff. It's that we're all benefiting from it, and that's why we should all be willing to help and kind of reach out and assist and support each other. It's because without the continuous interaction of one another, nothing would get done. Nobody would ever finalize anything. We wouldn't have the Disruption Network. You wouldn't have the Lost Guidance podcast. If people
we're all
didn't-
in this together, so we got to do something about it.
And I attribute you guys, especially you and Chicken and Sil and all the guys who got me on the D line, and then Bowie and all those people who kicked my ass into shape and said, dude, you can do it. Fucking start your own podcast. And here I am today, episode 16. Who'd have thought?
16? Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, dude.
No, I encourage everybody to do a podcast.
I do too.
Because everybody has a story to tell, and I've said this so many times, and everybody has a story to tell, or an event to promote, or something they need to get off their chest, or anything, or just a great conversation.
And it's a good way to release. Like, you get something out of it. You're learning. What I like is that every week I'm taking at least an hour or two a day, and I'm sitting down and just talking to someone that I would otherwise probably not get this in-depth conversation with,
Right.
And like people that I've known, like Chris Mike I had on a few weeks ago. We went to high school together, and I had never really had the time to just sit down and talk with him. And, just shooting the breeze was great, getting to know these people. And that's what it's about. Like, you could... Even if you want to do it by yourself, you don't even have to have guests on. Like, it's a good release. You're communicating with people, I think that's all positive. I think there's nothing truly negative about, especially some people might think that you're like, if you're doing a podcast, you're doing it for selfish reasons. I think it's the opposite. I'm trying to, if you get something out of the words that I'm saying, then it's beneficial for both of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
I agree too, man. I agree.
So you're at the electric company till 2012, you said.
Yep.
The blackout decade ends. What happens next?
I recorded an album with Street Rock, and then I put everything into Street Rock for a little while.
Okay.
Which we had a great time.
Yeah.
And we opened up for Mobb Deep and Fishbone and Sublime and Badfish and like all these great bands.
That's awesome,
Played
dude.
some great festivals.
Really?
We had a fun little run. There was a good 2-3 year period run that we had. And the album did well, and we didn't make any money or anything.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun, and they're still my brothers to this day. And the drummer Mandry moved out to L.A. recently, and AO's part of Audio Optics, and he's doing some incredible stuff on the videography side of things. And then my boy Gabe Oram.
You had him on the show recently, Audio Optics.
AO, yeah. In fact, we both won a Small Business Award through the Chamber of Commerce
Congratulations.
recently on the same week. Thank you very much. It's just so... What a coincidence that him and I both got the same award on that week.
Yeah.
It was just such a coincidence.
Yeah.
So we were calling it the Street Rock Business Coalition.
That's great.
So it's cool. And it's awesome. I went to his ribbon cutting last week and had a great time.
That's awesome.
And he deserves it. The kid works hard. He's a big thinker. He dreams big. And when he thinks big, he goes out there and he achieves it.
Wow.
He's very inspirational.
That's
his
awesome.
energy matches none other.
I'm going to have to reach out and get him on the show, I guess.
Like he's Spider-Man.
That's awesome.
AO is an amazing human being.
But they say, you are who you surround yourself with. And I think, hustle respects hustle and recognizes it. So I don't think it is coincidental that you two happen to get it on the same week. I think that was in the stars, That was right.
I guess everything's meant to be, right?
Yeah. So you tour for a while. You do
just
the album
northeast stuff. We didn't go too far, just up in the region, not too far. And we did a song for the Comets and put that out there for them. And at one time they were playing it at the hockey games. I haven't been to a Comets game this year, unfortunately, so I don't know if they're still playing it. But we got to get it. So they are playing it.
Yeah.
And so did that for a while. But this whole time that we were doing Street Rock, we had it in the back of my head with my buddy Rich Masucci that we were going to do some sort of talk show or whatever. And Masucci and I started one. He has this garage, this really cool garage where it's decked out with, in fact, you would jerk off in his garage because it's nothing but Pittsburgh Steelers stuff in there.
That's great.
And he's got autographs from like everybody, me, Joe Green, down to Roethlisberger.
Oh, that's cool.
He's got everybody.
That's cool.
Santonio Holmes. He's got all this
Man,
shit.
the toe tapper.
But he also has the McFarlands and just it's an incredible shrine to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the true man cave.
You would, I have to bring you over there. You would really love it. But he does podcasting out of there now. But that actually triggered all that. That triggered him and I doing a show together. We were talking to local bands for a minute, and just what we were lacking is the help. So Masucci and I were trying to get it going, and then I was approached by the Made in Utica folks, and I was doing UCs with Z, a thing that we did at the brewery, and that lasted for about a year, and split up from those guys and started doing my own little podcast interweb thing with Todd Williams, who's my partner right now at Disruption, and that's how he got into the whole thing. And Todd and I have been working together since. It's been a few years now. I want to say like 3 years now, and actually him and I work great together. I love that man actually for what he does because he's smart. He does the things that I'm not good at.
Yeah.
And I do the things that he's not good
A little
at.
yin and yang.
Right.
Where are you guys like meeting in the middle? Like what are some things that he does and you do
Some of the computer things I'm good at. I'm not really computer savvy where he's like really on top of it. There's some things that I totally get, but then there's other things I don't get when it comes to the technical stuff. I'm more of an audio guy than the video guy.
Right.
My background
Right,
is
it makes
audio.
sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But the video side of things, I'm not. So, I mean, I could put together a radio commercial all day long, but he could put together a video commercial.
Right,
you know?
right.
So there's that. We have that in common.
That's awesome.
And he sets up the studio, and we've got that whole new studio launched going, and that's going to be happening.
The bar area looks really nice with the green screen.
And that gets
everything.
launched on June the 12th.
What kind of show are you doing using the bar and the green screen?
There's going to be a couple different things. In fact, that bar's interchangeable, so it's on wheels, so we could slide it out and put a couch there if we wanted to, or
Nice.
any kind of setup. So it's going to be interchangeable, and it's going to look good, and I'm really excited to get that up and launched. But we do have a couple new shows that are going to be launched on the D really soon. A Leveling Up podcast with Meg McGrogan from the Chamber of Commerce, and that starts on June the 12th. And then on the 17th is the Unstoppable You podcast, which I'm really excited for. I'm excited for both of them. But Heather Beebe, she's a very inspirational woman, holistic healing, life coaching type thing.
Awesome.
So, yeah, and that's what we're trying to do at the D, too, is, shed some positive influence on people.
Yeah.
And inspire if we could. And,
Absolutely.
And create. And, we're all in this community together, and let's achieve something really big around here, because the only time we ever get national attention in Utica is to make fun of us.
Yeah, I know, right?
And everybody got so bent out of shape at The Simpsons, but I
God.
thought it was great.
I thought it was
actually.
hilarious. Yeah.
I did too. I thought it was great, and I think people just everybody's just too sensitive.
I think if you
nowadays.
whine about it, they're just gonna come back and make fun of you more.
Right.
Just laugh at yourself, kind of thing. It's if you want that to not be the opinion of the area, make the area a little better, and we got to all do that together.
And exactly it, bro. And you're taking the words right out of my mouth. See, we're all in this together. There's a lot of people doing great things in this community. There's some really cool things happening.
Absolutely.
I've been here pretty much my whole life. I've moved away a few times,
Uh-huh.
and I came back a few times, and I've never seen pride in Utica like there is going on today.
Yeah.
There's not, and I talk about it pretty much every day. I mean, if anybody tunes in the EC radio, you'll hear me talk about this pretty much on the daily. But and it's cool to see. It is. It's cool to see, and we got to keep promoting it and keep preaching the good word, because there is some great amenities that this city has to offer.
Yes, and there's a lot of upcoming business, upcoming like living developments and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Medical, different technologies and stuff coming to the area, a lot of like fiber optics and stuff.
Yep.
So it's great, but like, that's again, like if people were ever hesitant, like, oh, even if it is a podcast or if it's a business or whatever,
Right.
like now is the time. Yeah. It's,
Exactly.
the future is now,
Exactly.
And-
Get involved.
And if you just wait, it's the bystander effect. If you just wait for the next person to get it done and you just think like, oh, I'm not going to stand a chance, nothing would ever get done.
Yeah.
So you have to believe in yourself. And again, you never know who you're going to meet along the way. Like as your story is indicating, the great people who want to step in and help you and help you to achieve your goals, and because they get positivity and benefit out of it as well. That's what it's about. That's this community thing that we're preaching. So I'm all for it, man. I think you and I definitely kind of hit the nail on the head about the importance of shedding that community.
Yeah, you have to. And we go out in the community and we're active a lot. Chicken put together the Disrupting Hunger thing,
Which was awesome.
which was great. We just did the mayor cleanup team, which this was our third year in a row doing it, when we get together with the mayor and we clean up a section of Utica, and I plan on doing that again. I plan on doing that every year. In fact,
Yeah.
I'd like to do it a couple times a year.
Yeah.
But I'm also about to launch, we're doing an instrument drive for the area school district, where these school programs have got sucked dry,
Yeah.
and there's like, believe it or not, these music programs are dying, and it's a lack of funding and instruments and stuff like that. So we're going to do a whole instrument drive all summer long, and then make the presentation in
Awesome.
September. Actually, this is the first time I'm talking about it.
Oh, that's great.
You get
Hey, the
Lost Guidance-
exclusive.
you get the exclusive.
That's awesome.
And right now, with a Lost Guidance exclusive.
Pew, pew, pew.
But
That's
yeah,
great.
so we like to get active in the community, and then we do the Real Men Wear Pink and the Relay for Life, and so we're out there, and we want to do good in the community, and so we can act like idiots on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a good balance. It's like a yin and yang, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And I can tell stupid jokes and make myself look stupid on a daily basis, and that's EC Radio at 3:00 on the D.
Nice.
But Yeah, and just I love Utica. I really do. I love this town. It's where I grew up. It's my home. I left and came back a few times. A couple times I had to, but a couple times I didn't have to, and I did because it is home, and it's
there is
where,
no place like this.
And there's no the people. You can't beat the people in this town. It's you grow up with these people, and you've got these long-lasting relationships, and there's just some really good people in this town
for sure. And like you said, it's like that was frothy. There is no more pride than I've ever seen than now. It's everybody is. We have the Comets and the Utica Football Club, and you have just like those sports reasons that people are getting involved. And they redid the auditorium, and now they have like all these awesome restaurants and stuff popping up, like really nice ones, and like different chains want to come here now. Like we just got a Blaze Pizza and the Wing Stop. It's like all these people are like recognizing this area is growing, and who did I just have on the other week? I can't remember who had said it offhand, but Utica is a rare little area that wasn't hit as hard by the economy. It's not as affected,
because Utica's always been in a recession.
Yeah,
this town has always been as long as I can remember. Utica's been in a recession.
We've been working generations just to get middle class,
right?
No,
not even.
We're not budging. I don't care what the
we're talking upper lower class. We're trying to get to.
Yeah, man, and it's like people are working hard, and like we've been able to like kind of maintain. And when things get bad in other areas around New York, we kind of stay right there. So I do think now is the time, if ever, that people need to get involved.
Yeah, get on the train. Let's go. There's a lot of good things happening. That you got to give credit to, and I hate getting political, but the Mayor Palmieri has done a pretty great job.
Yeah,
he has done. There's a lot of good things happening, and a lot of buildings getting occupied, and a lot of construction, and people are complaining about traffic. I'm like, traffic? There's no traffic.
Yeah.
What are you talking? You're stuck because you're stuck in a construction zone for an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're gonna complain? Seriously? What would you do if you lived in LA?
Yeah.
And it took you 45 minutes to go 2 miles?
Yeah, seriously.
What would you do if that happened? What would you do if you lived in a real city?
Yeah.
That construction and that traffic jams right now, that's called progress, people.
Yeah.
You should be excited.
In a few
about
weeks,
that.
you won't have any traffic.
Have patience.
Yeah.
Have patience, because good
Absolutely.
things are coming.
So that is a part of it. You got to wait for the infrastructure, but they're doing it right. And apart from the pothole situation.
Oh, dude. I live in a pothole. I got a nice, beautiful 3-bedroom pothole. It's awesome. It's comfortable. It's got a nice little pool. It's a brown pool. I got to clean it out a little bit, but there's a nice little brown pool there.
Oh, man. My neighbors in the pothole next to me, they're all right.
Yeah, they're really cool, actually.
That's awesome. No, but it is good to see the area coming up. So we were talking that you were at Captain Trips, it was, and that's
man.
And meeting those guys kind of helped facilitate the Disruption Network. So like, what really sparked it? You guys wanted the radio show after you were working on the band?
It's funny. I'm glad you asked this. Chicken and I have known each other for many years, and Chicken and I would sit around what we used to call backstage at the EC, which was our friend Lenny's house. And we'd bring all the bands back there so they could just get ready or just get away from a crowd or go smoke a blunt or whatever. You know, it was a place to get away from the bar. And so we would hang out there and late night we'd sit around. We should do this. We should do that. Talk. We should be recording these conversations that we're having around right now as we're passing the blunt around, type of thing. Because there were some funny things. And it was just kind of a thing that was always talked about, and we should start a radio station. I mean, I've always wanted to do a radio station because radio was a love of mine. I've always wanted to have one. And in fact, my goal at the EC, if I were to ever have bought in that building, was to put a radio station on the 3rd floor. But that never happened.
Yeah.
Anyways, I always wanted to do it. And when we first started the D, it was originally a radio station. We were playing music and stuff like that. But, the whole ASCAP and music licensing crap.
That's got to get tricky. I try not even to, step on any toes on this stuff.
I get flagged for playing my own music, dude.
How?
Street Rock Mafia, I get flagged every time I play it. And it's my own music, too.
And I get
dispute if I dispute it, then they'll take it. You only get a mark on it if they dispute it or if they bring up the red flag for you. You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube will mark it. Hey, this was played, and then if the artist is like, all right, let's get these sons of bitches, then they can get you. But if the artist isn't like, let's get them, then they're not going to come get you.
Gotcha.
But it's only like a few seconds. Like, what is it? You can only play like 30 seconds of it or talk over it, or you gotta shape the song a little bit. I don't know. I see all aspects of it because my music is licensed. But then again, I'm trying to play licensed music, so it's like, where do I fit in over here?
That's interesting. Yeah, because there are a lot of technicalities, and they have a built-in logarithm, right? So like, if music is played, and it's already in there, right? And it immediately flags it. That's so crazy.
And then I had it at the bar as well. We dogged ASCAP for like 5 years. I'm proud of that, actually. The joke was we would, because it was right around they were looking for Bin Laden, and we were like, well, we should just put ASCAP on him because ASCAP will find him. So what they would do is they would come in and send in like a secret shopper and sit in the club and take notes of every song that was played, time, and everything. So come fast forward 5 years later, the agent shows up at the bar with a paper, like a stack of papers like this, with every song ever played by one of their artists, like in a nice little spreadsheet.
Wow.
The artist, who the band was, the time of day, the original artist, everything.
Wow.
The whole thing.
That's crazy.
We were just like, oh my God. So we had to make a deal.
Man,
we had to make a deal.
But
we made the deal, and all is good. But we have, the bar has to pay the licensing.
Wow.
But I see the argument of the bar owner is like, how do I know that your artists are actually getting any of that money?
Right.
And then me being the artist, like, I ain't getting any of that money.
I know.
But
Seriously.
Billy Joel is getting that money.
Yeah.
What the heck, dude?
What the hell, dude?
It's funny because we had like 10,000 downloads on like Spotify or one of them for Street Rock Mafia.
Really?
Yeah. You know how much I got? $37.
$37. Wow, rolling in it, are we?
Huge.
Fucking crazy.
Huge. Put that right in the gas tank.
Wow, dude, it is so weird though, and that stuff
is
like
screwed, bro.
It's. You need a freaking lawyer on your side to help you navigate those types of waters, because I don't even claim to come close to understanding YouTube's logistics or ASCAP or anything like that, dude. And licensing,
it's nothing but red tape.
Exactly. Everybody wants the pennies on the dollar. Like, everybody wants their fingers on the pie. So
yeah.
You're never escaping somebody.
So going back to the story, because I do go down a lot of rabbit holes often. Chicken and I wanted to do the radio station podcast thing, whatever, and it just so happened the opportunity arose.
Yeah,
and we're like, we got to do it. Let's do it. And we had a couple other partners and moved on from them and have formed DisruptionNetwork.net.
Yeah,
and since we made the change and everything, man, it's been fun. It's been quite a ride, and we've done some pretty cool things and we're going to do a lot.
Yeah, you guys
more cool things.
keep like incrementally increasing the types and varieties of shows and the guests you have on. So you just started with EC Radio, right?
For me, actually doing my webcast in Todd's house actually was called Z's Company. Which eventually I'm going to switch back over to it, because the whole EC Radio thing was a play on trying to get people to view, because we were bringing back the Electric Company.
Right.
We're going to bring, because, we have a little cult following, if you will.
Yeah.
I throw like an EC reunion party, my buddies show up and we have a great old time. And it's cool. So I figured throwing in, it was actually Chicken's idea. If you throw in that the Electric Company's coming back, people are going to probably tune in. And I think maybe it worked. Yeah. But now I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
I am. I want to get rid of the whole, forget about like the past and like move forward and
get off
type
the
of thing.
Electric Company thing.
The EC thing. Well, the whole radio thing too, because people think we're spinning music.
Right.
And we're not spinning music. And originally we were.
Right.
Originally I was playing my buddies' bands.
Are you still going to have guests on if you do the Z's Company?
Of course. That's what it would be. More of a long form conversation like it is now.
Right.
It's the same thing. Nothing would change. Maybe just the name. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll take a poll.
Yeah.
I kind of want to drop the whole EC moniker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
do it.
Yeah, I will. But I'm always changing shit too, though. Yeah. That's my other thing. It's like I'm so ADD. I'm always changing stuff. Like, oh, here he goes changing something again.
But I think it might make it a little more special the next time you do say, like, oh, it's been like fucking 10 years and no one's mentioned EC. Let's bring it back. Let's have an Electric Company reunion party again.
Oh, we will. We will. We had one back in July. It was off the charts. Back when Wakely's was open. It was a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
what happened to Wakely's? I just walked down and realized they were
done.
Bupkis, huh?
Yeah, same thing. They just fell into a faulty landlord.
Jeez.
Same thing I did. And so we won't even get into that.
Okay.
I'm having a good conversation now.
Right. No, I was going to say a lot of places have recycled through there. So such is life.
Yeah, such is life, man. It's like
Such is life.
What are you gonna do?
So so you started with Z's company,
yep,
and
yep.
then you started building on, because now you have the wrestling fandom, the D line for football.
Oh, you're talking
the
about
baseline,
shows
right?
for the
Yeah,
disruption. Okay, so
Like, what were your original shows, and how
well,
did that expand?
EC Radio was the original, and then there's two eras of disruption. We gotta take that into consideration. When we first started, we had the original partners that were on the show. They had their own shows as well, and then that split off.
Okay.
And then when disruption, it would then during the .com era, we had East Beats and Biz, and we had another show on there, Back Talk, and Adeline's been with us since day one with Home Free. So we had those going for us, and then the .com we picked up a couple more with the D line, and then we picked up another one with the Baseline and Wrestle Fandom Radio, so more towards the sports area sides of things, and and now we're gonna focus some attention towards the women's side of things, and having these two shows get launched with Heather and Meg should hopefully do some of that and bring, because I don't want the D's for everybody. It's a community thing.
Yeah,
and that's what we want to
for sure.
There.
Yeah, and I don't. I hope that I never have myself either to a point where people that feel like it's a pigeon demographic or anything. Like the whole point of like sharing stories and ideas, and what's great about you guys is that you are bringing a little bit to the table for everybody, and you never know who might get a little bit of what out of what you're doing. So it's cool, because if you guys haven't seen it, again, pause the episode and come back, check it out. The D-line you guys are doing like the home real estate market.
Yep.
You're doing the EC Radio basically touches base on a variety of guests, from bands to, I was on there a few weeks ago. So then you have the D-line covering all the football games that go on in the NFL throughout the season, and the Baseline covering all the baseball games going on, and the draft and stuff they just did, and they covered JP Schofield, and
those guys are killing it.
they're killing it,
They
you know.
are,
Then you
man.
had Wrestling Fandom and East Beats and Biz doing the music scene. So it's like literally you're bringing a little bit to the table for everybody, and it's like, who doesn't like a freaking smorgasbord? You know, a little touch of everything on there.
It's funny with the Baseline. You bring those guys up. They've been going on Twitter a lot, and a lot of these like major league players are like retweeting their stuff. And
Really?
and then lately, and this is no lie, but lately they've been kind of stealing. I would say stealing some of our stuff. Well, not our stuff, but JP and Gaffney's stuff.
Oh,
Well, there was a couple incidences, and now that I say this, of course, I can't remember.
I
But
know.
there was a couple incidences where they had said something on the Sunday night, and then like 3 days later, Major League Baseball Network is saying the same exact thing. So MLB is paying attention to what those two are doing.
Really?
It's really cool to see.
Very
actually.
impressive.
When you got guys like Mark DeRosa, who used to play with the Cubs, and he's on MLB Network retweeting some of their stuff and interacting and engaging with them.
wow.
So they're doing some good stuff, and I'm proud of my boys, and that's what I want all our shows to do. I encourage all our shows to go out there and be active on social
Absolutely.
media, and that's how you gain followers. You don't know who's out there listening.
For sure.
Well,
For sure. Yeah. That's awesome. And I mean, impressive that, so I cut myself off there. How did you network to all these guys? Because I know, the three founders are you, Todd, and Chicken. Chicken does the D-line.
Mhm.
You guys can check that out. It's awesome. And so you guys kind of started, and Chicken kind of does the football side of things, and Todd does a lot of the video stuff. Does Todd do any of the shows?
no, but we're working on that.
Yeah, he'll come on.
I want him to do something.
We'll get you up here, Todd.
And we've talked about it, and there's something in the works. There's something stewing. I don't know how soon we'll get that out, but we'll have something for you. Todd is great, man. He's a super talented guy.
Yeah.
At one time, I would say in the 90s, he was probably the best male vocalist in all of Utica.
Really?
He used
What
to
did-
play in a band called Toast.
Toast?
Yeah.
I've-
And like
I feel like I've heard of that.
Killer pipes. The guy's got killer pipes.
Really?
And yeah, the boy could sing. And he was doing the band thing for a while. And
I encourage somebody to go through the archives of cell phones and computers and
It's out
find me a video of Toast.
yeah, it's out there.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's great.
They are out there. They were doing a lot of 90s covers, but then they do like, Faith No More and like Slayer. And
Sweet.
They were all over the place.
That's
Yeah.
bitching.
No.
So you guys just kind of, I mean, you had to have the wherewithal to know, like, let's start diversifying. Not many people do that. Some people like to really, kind of sectionalize themselves, which is
I'm not a sectionalized type of person.
right.
I mean, you should notice that just in my musical taste.
Right. Yeah.
And driving here, I was listening to the Sam Kinninger band, just straight up funky jazz.
Nice.
Driving here, and then when I leave here, I'm probably gonna pull out and put on Rage Against the Machine.
Nice.
Because I'm gonna be all amped up for this podcast.
That's great, dude. No, I mean,
But yeah,
exactly.
see, I'm not a situational type of dude. I like to explore, man. I'm an explorer. I like to dabble in a lot of things, not just one little thing. I don't like to pigeonhole myself.
Absolutely.
I like to try everything once, if you will.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't want to, same thing with the Lost Guidance podcast. Like, I didn't want to just be like, oh, we're only talking about stories of like athletes or, I don't know, people of, I don't know, a profession or anything like that. I wanted to just be like, we're just telling stories. You can be anybody. I'll have anybody on. I've already said that. Like, reach out, send me an email. Like, we'll get you on. I want to talk. And that's what's cool about it. Cause like, I don't even need to be here. My guests each have something unique to bring to the table. And if you're watching and you didn't find that one guest in particularly interesting, go to the next guest and you might find something
Exactly.
enthralling. So
Exactly.
that's what's really cool about it, because everybody, we all bring something unique to the table. So it's cool to see that you guys are doing it. You're bringing all that uniqueness, but you got everybody. Like, if you want this, tune in at this time on this day, and we'll get you your dose. Like,
Yeah.
you want a little baseball chat, you want a little, home. What am I thinking about?
Real estate.
That's the word. I got a little bit of everything, and you can chime in on it. So I am
Well, they
excited
can
to
chime in too whenever they want to, and that's the beauty of the whole modern media type of thing. Is like you can always view, and like these podcasts, dude. This podcast is gonna outlive you and I.
for sure.
It's gonna outlive both of us.
Yeah.
And I explain that to like our listeners and our viewers and even our sponsors. Like, these ads and these words and this conversation, it's gonna last forever.
For sure.
Well, as long as computers are relevant, right?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be as long as older than us.
As long as there's a cloud up there doing whatever the hell it does.
Right.
Gathering my shit.
Yeah, right. Gathering all my dick pics. I'm kidding.
So what was I gonna say? But it's kind of cool because this is like almost like your legacy, and I'm gonna be able to look back in 20, 30 years and be like, man, either what the hell was I doing, or wow, I'm proud of where I came, and yada yada yada. But it's also like freaking my grandkids, my nieces and nephews and all that will be able to watch this and be like, holy shit,
Yeah.
my grandpappy was a cool dude, man.
Exactly.
He's having beers on Sundays, chatting with some cool cats, and that's
exactly it, bro.
yeah, that's what I want.
This is what you leave behind. See,
Exactly.
me, I don't have kids, and I don't plan on having kids. And some woman had asked me a long time ago. She's like, "Z, how come you don't have kids?" I'm like, I don't need to leave kids behind. I leave music behind. This was when I was playing back in the day a lot. I have albums. I have 4 albums out that you can listen to. Those are my kids.
Yeah.
And now this podcast, like the Disruption Network, that's my kid.
That's my kid.
That's my kid.
That's exactly how I feel. Both my siblings, my brother and my sister, have a kid, and both nephews. And it's like, I love them, and I will be able to share my lessons with them, and they'll be able to watch this stuff. But like, I'm a little too selfish, and I recognize that to have a kid. Maybe, I don't know, maybe down the line we'll see. But like, this is what I take pride in, And if I had to allocate time out of my day not doing this, I would be unhappy. So like, this is what makes me happy, man, and it drives me. And
it's excellent.
And that's for anybody doing anything.
Excellent.
If you're starting a business or something, and there's just something you're passionate about, you got to just follow it through. And if you're doing something else, like your 9 to 5 makes you unhappy to that extent, like that's when you need to really take the plunge and do it all in. And that's when you really feel that life satisfaction come out of it. And so I'm happy enough to say that, like, that's where I'm at.
I'm lucky enough to know at a very young age, I knew that I'm not a 9 to 5 guy.
Yeah.
I knew that from probably since birth.
Yeah.
I'm not one to sit behind it. I have too much ADD or ADHD.
Yeah.
I can't even sit still here at this table for more than 5 seconds, wrapping the cord around my hand. I'm flipped leg up, leg down. It's shaking. It's not shaking. Wait till I start taking my clothes off, Zach. Anyways,
man, I was hoping you'd get the ball rolling. Jeez.
But see, I don't even know where I was going with this. But yeah, I have a lot of energy, and I just can't. You got to relinquish it somehow, and this is the way I like to relinquish it on a day-to-day basis. Is through the microphone, and tell stories, and talk to people, and having these great conversations. Man,
Yeah.
I've got to talk to so many cool people
I
throughout
know.
my life. Man.
I see some of the guests you have on, and I'm like, holy crap, man! It's
Yeah.
awesome to see like their
not even just on the show too, just in my life I've had some amazing interactions that people I've been blessed, man.
Yeah.
I've definitely been blessed, and it's been a great life. And even if I were to pull out of here and get into a car accident and die after this podcast, I lived a great life.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
awesome.
Very, very happy, and I have zero regrets. Well, we all have a little bit of regret
Yeah.
here and there, but the regrets you can't keep taking with you. You
Right.
got to kind of leave them in the past.
Totally, man.
So, and I just had such a great life, and been blessed with so many great people in my life, and friends, and experiences, and
And that's a really good lesson that people should take away from this is like life's so short. You got to be at any given moment happy to say like I'm living it. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can do right now. And
Yeah.
if you're not, and you could do elsewise, and you're not doing those things, you're cutting yourself short. Why sell yourself short in such a short life? Nothing else is guaranteed after this.
Right.
So
Nothing's guaranteed.
I don't know. Make the most of it.
Nothing.
As long as those eyes open every morning, you should be making the most of it.
Nothing is guaranteed.
So that's something I wanted to get into is, and I like to ask all my guests is like pertaining to what you do. So podcasting, music, entertainment, all that. If somebody wanted to get into it in the area, what's like the piece of advice that you'd give them?
Don't
Yeah.
do it, kid.
Don't get in. Not in the music industry here.
I mean, it all depends on what facet of the music that you want to get into, or what side of the industry you want to get into.
Yeah.
You want to get into the business side? Yeah, it could be pretty cutthroat.
Yeah.
It could be pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
They're going to try to bang your girl, type of thing.
That's crazy.
Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Be in the music industry, you got to have thick skin.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take a no, but you also got to be able to be stern as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on the promoting side of things? If you're on the promoting side of things, you have to be a gambler.
Yeah.
If you're not a gambler, don't become a promoter.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, if you are going to be a throwing shows and stuff like that, you're not really a promoter. You're in the beer business. You're in the bar business because it's the only way you're going to make money.
Yeah.
Is by selling alcohol because
Yeah.
you're not going to make it on ticket sales and stuff like
Right.
that. Do you want to be a musician? If you want to be a musician, you better put your goddamn work in there. You better put that time in there. You better practice your chops. You better be good before you get out there and display your talents.
Yeah.
You better be
I mean-
honed in, talented, and don't be out there thinking you're going to be a rock star.
I mean, with so much saturation these days, you can see, some guy in Indonesia killing it on a guitar, and he puts
Right.
you to shame. So, like, you really got to be on it. You're
There's
for sure.
always somebody better.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
And you'll be able to find him, trust me.
Exactly.
There's a video of him somewhere.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
So
I
if you're
agree.
going to be on the music side of things, if you're going to be on that side, you better practice your chops and so there's just so many different aspects of the podcast. I encourage everybody to do a podcast.
Yeah.
You should. It's so easy.
For sure.
It really is.
For sure.
You just set up. You're going to need a laptop, a couple microphones, and an interface.
Yeah.
And you could sit there, click go, and you got a little webcam going, and boom, you got a podcast. And it
Exactly.
looks good.
Yeah.
Zach, at one time, were you a beer delivery man?
No, what? No, what makes you say that?
All the swag on the wall.
It's swagging. Dude, so there was a local bar that shut down, and I was a friend of the daughter who owned it, and I got those for like freaking $80. Dude.
Nice.
And this was Facebook garage sale for like 100.
I love this thing.
It was in the box, dude. Never even opened.
That
it was
thing
freaking
is killer. And
Yeah.
for those that
Bitchin'.
are listening to this, we're talking to his mountain-shaped Coors Light cooler. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, with a glass front and it's shaped like the Rockies on the can, so it's pretty cool. I don't know, man. Something about I just like advertising a lot. I can sympathize with the dude on American Pickers who's always getting the signs and like oil cans and like old vintage look, or just like even just
Yeah.
and there's something about like especially like proprietary eponyms, like companies like Chapstick. When you say, hey, do you got like a chapstick, and it doesn't matter what kind it is, you say Chapstick even though that's a brand. Like that, I love marketing like that. So like you're like, I don't know. I'm always trying to acquire different things where I'm like, like grab a Bud Light bucket or something. Like it doesn't matter what bucket it is, but like you say it like
You
that,
like the swag.
There's something about names and shit to me. Yeah, it's really cool, and just how solidified a name gets. And that's what I'm hoping the Lost Guidance podcast becomes,
You should come to my house and raid my closet. I'll let you take all the beer stuff out. Please get it out.
for sure, dude.
Please get it out. But no, it's cool. Are you a collector? Do you like to collect
I
things?
do, yeah.
What's your thing you collect?
I got a lot of baseball cards.
Oh, yeah?
Thousands. My grandfather got me started on that young. He was an antiquer his whole life.
Okay.
And he unfortunately just passed away this year, but like he made that sign, and that's an old ad out of a Adirondack magazine.
Oh, wow.
Like you got a bunch of them somewhere and just, made that
Black
Brickard
trout
himself.
fishing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just something I like to collect. Again, like a lot of signage. If you look into the living room back there, and a lot of like old like articles, like old posts and stuff. Just like I don't know. I'm very much an antiquer, you know. And I used to do a lot of like buying and selling with my relatives on eBay, and like I'd go to auctions and bought like this whole lot of World War II collectible stuff once, and I found like an old radio in there, old like World War II trading cards, just like stuff that people throw away otherwise. I try to like find value out of, and I ended up like that one radio sold for like $300.
Wow.
Because I mean, it just looked like a crappy piece of metal, and they sold the box to me for like $5, you know, and I'm like, I just see value in things like just the most minute things. So I don't know. I'll collect anything really. Moral of the story there, but what I want to say is your advice there. So to anybody in the podcast industry and stuff, I had an episode. I just did like a solo dolo episode one day, and it's just like explaining all the different parts, because I know when I was getting into it, I don't know if this is how you felt as well. It's like it's a little bit daunting of a task to say like, all right, if I'm going to do a podcast, what do I need? A laptop. All right, what kind of laptop? You know, what's the good one? What do normal people use? All right, a webcam. What kind of webcam? You know, a microphone. What kind of microphone? Like you want reviews, and going down those rabbit holes and doing all that research and stuff is so heavy. And it's like, it took me, I mean, people say like, oh, you just like, I've had friends just try to go out and buy the stuff and just be like, let me start a podcast now. It's like, I took like a year and a half to collect this stuff and like do research on it and really learn into it. So I'm not against giving anybody advice or anything like that. Anybody wants to reach out and like, hey, I want to start a podcast, I'll tell you what to do. I mean, I'll tell you what I did. You can do whatever you want, obviously, but like,
Right.
That's a big part about it, is just like doing the work and researching and like just put the effort in. Like if you want to do a podcast, yeah, like reach out, like anybody will help you. It's just put a little legwork into it and you'll get a lot of achievement out of it.
It's almost like bartending. You could do it anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
You just bring your podcast anywhere you want.
And that's something I want to, I got this cool little tripod and a monopod over there. I want to start getting on mountains this summer and doing some like live in the Adirondacks podcast and stuff. I got a nice DSLR camera and shit like that. It's like, there's limitless potential. Whatever you want it to be, whatever you enjoy, you can do it.
Yep.
And now I'm the same way. I like see this kid I used to hang out with. He works at Piggy Pat's and he's the head cook there. And he's always taking these Instagram photos of like really color coordinated stuff. Like he's like got all the peppers and onions and it's like a really nice picture. You're just like, wow, that's like appealing to look at, I'm like, dude, do a freaking cooking podcast, why not? Or like, I don't know, anybody. I'm like, I have had Taylor and Mike Natali on the other day. They have their own businesses, contracting businesses. I'm like, do like a installation or like like a podcast just on like how to put in a light socket or how to change whatever, how to do sheetrock, like people want that stuff.
Time-lapse video.
Time-lapse videos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge, especially if they have that connection to you and they're like, oh, I know this guy. Or like, man, he just lives down the street from me.
Right.
It becomes more personable and you feel more, I don't know. I feel like people get more out of it.
Yeah. I agree.
So
it's important to document some of the stuff that you're doing.
For sure.
And leave it behind. Like you said, leave it for your grandkids and stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, you can always look back and like sometimes I check out my videos and pictures that I've took from years ago and I'm like, I don't even remember that. But like, that's a cool scene. I'm glad I captured it.
We're lucky to be living in this time where we got all this incredible technology. I
Yeah.
mean, the technology could be a double-edged sword as well, but look at all the cool stuff we have.
For sure.
It's amazing.
Look, I can do whatever I want right here. I could videotape us. I can take our picture. I can put bunny ears on my head. I could do anything I want.
Yeah.
I could make it black and white. I could just, it is limitless. I can call somebody in Japan. I can find a pizza place in freaking Boston if I want. It's crazy, dude.
You watch videos.
I was just showing you. I just got to put my
make a
hand
video.
up. I got to put my hand up and it takes my picture. That's all I got to do.
It's amazing.
It's what? How does it recognize my hand? It is nuts. But it is a double-edged sword because sometimes it's oversaturated and you can't spend. I forgot. I heard some crazy statistic about how much time people spend in a year on their phone, and it's just sickening. Like
it is,
and you can't help it.
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah, but then which is why I love when people don't answer the phone. I'm like, all right, is your phone really more than 3 feet from you? I doubt it.
That drives me crazy too.
Just pick it up.
Just pick it up.
Like
I'm one to like. I'd rather talk to you and just get that 2-second conversation over
Out of
with
the way.
instead of that half-hour text messaging going back and forth.
Yes.
Like, we could get this over in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If we just pick up the phone.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Absolutely. I'm totally with you there. But no, it is. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Sometimes I'm like, I want to be on it less, but at the same time, I'm like, I got to be on it for the podcast. I want to, I'm communicating with people and sharing ideas and stuff. And so, like, yeah, it's a weird time to be alive and be so saturated with media content and just everything.
Saturated.
Saturation.
Is the key word too. It's everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. So we're over the hour mark. So freaking.
How long do you normally go?
Whenever.
Oh, you do?
Somewhere between an hour and 2.
Okay.
I wanted to know, so we've seen where the D has come in 3 years, man. You guys are building it, and it's awesome. And you're doing a lot with the community. And again, I advocate you guys go check out the disruptionnetwork.net or your Facebook page and see what you did, the cleanup in Utica, and you did the veterans outreach, Disrupt Hunger. Where do you see it going in like the next 10 years? Where do you want it to be?
Man, day by day, first sec. Take it easy.
He's like, dude, it's Sunday.
10 years.
Jesus Christ,
Look, if I'm alive in 10 years, let alone the D. No, I would love for it to be, this national known brand that we're out there doing things on a positive level, on a, different, like a network, like an actual, like how we are a network.
Yeah.
Like an actual broadcasting network where we have, different genres of content that you can choose and just keep growing.
For sure.
And growing and growing and growing. And we are. We've got some really cool people joining forces with, and we're doing some really cool events and stuff like that, and just continue to keep those relationships, gain more relationships, and continue on what we're doing, and that's providing content and doing some cool things in the community.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great message to have. Where did the name Disruption Network come from? I wanted to ask you that too.
It was over a blunt, to be honest. No, it was just kind of everybody was going back and forth, and I think the guys wanted to call it Distracted or something like that. I was like, we're not. We're more of a disruption. That's what we are.
Yeah.
It's not a distraction.
Yeah.
It
is because you're kind of disrupting the way people deal with media content. You're like, look at me, dude.
I'm more of a disruption than I am a distraction, right?
Yeah, I'm not
come in and wreck your shit.
I'm not a blonde with 7-foot legs.
I'm not just going to gain your attention for 3 seconds. I'm going to leave a mark.
Yeah,
and that's what a disruption does.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and I mean, speaking on the testament of leaving your mark, I know you guys are known for leaving the D stickers everywhere.
Yeah, somebody's out there doing their job. That's
Somebody's
good.
out there doing it, man. I know I've left a few in New York City and all around.
Yeah,
man.
I'm guilty of it as well. But we do have some great friends out there, and I mentioned this a couple times already, but there are people out there putting stickers out there.
Literally.
And it's cool. It's funny when you see them in different towns and stuff. Cause, I was in Atlanta for the Super Bowl, and I went out and I had a stack of tickets or a stack of stickers and put them all over town during break and stuff. And people would see them and take pictures and send them to me. So that's cool. We left a mark there, and there was one in Jamaica as well that my buddy sent me recently. He was in Jamaica and he saw a D sticker.
Wow.
At Margaritaville for Jimmy Buffett's bar, and I left a couple down there.
That's awesome.
So it's cool when they send them back up, and it's cool when people are putting them up. I mean,
now can you get stickers from the website?
No, which thank you. We should be able to. But I'm glad you did mention the website. We did release a bunch of merchandise this past week, so we do have that up and rolling. But thank you for putting that in my head. We need to put some stickers up there.
That way you just order a stack and I'll put them everywhere. Dude.
Yeah. We have stacks and stacks at the studio right now. It's important to keep them around. That's something you stock up on.
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome. And
it's just promotional. It's promotional purposes.
It's notable too. Like you see it and you remember it. And like I even tell people like, yeah, I'm going on the D. Like the D, what's that? I'm like, you ever go around town and you see the letter D in black and white and it looks like it's broken glass? I was like, they're like, yeah, I do remember seeing that somewhere. Like, I don't know where, but I've seen it, It's like, it's notable. It's getting your name out there.
Try to get in your mind.
Freaking, people don't even know where they've seen it. They just know they've seen it.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
It is. It's definitely catchy. And, yeah, man, again, blessed to have many friends to go out there doing the work and supporting us and promoting us, and such as yourself. And, I mean, we could do a whole podcast on people that I would love to thank. In fact, I think I will down the road. But, it's truly amazing.
That'd be a good one to kind of just say like, this is this person and how they helped, and just go down the line.
Right.
See if you can get them all.
See if I can get them all to come in the studio at once.
Freaking 3 hours.
Anthony
later.
Donaldson, this is your life. God.
So where's the Z come from too? Everybody calls you Z.
Where does the Z come from? Okay. So we'll get into this. So 1995, I am about to become a disc jockey on the radio. I'm training with my friend, God rest his soul, John Curley. And it's funny because I was just telling the story. Well, not the Z story, but this particular story that the day I was training, my very first day I was training at K-Rock, there was a party in the studio. It was a lot of fun back then. It wasn't corporate like it is now.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was there was a party going on in the studio for my very first day. My buddies came down. They were all excited for me and stuff. So we got done with the show of my training, first time on the radio. I was like, "Hi, Monica Kira." Like, dude, horrible, absolutely horrible, the worst, man. High pitched Eric, I was probably. They should have called me a high pitched Anthony. But the whole time we were trying to look for a radio handle. The whole time, like, you need to be called something. You're not going to just go with Anthony Donaldson.
Yeah,
you need to be called something. And we were thinking, and it was like Spike, and I don't know, dude. All these stupid names came about. So lo and behold, it's late night. We're done with the show. We go down to Captain Tripp's. Captain Tripp's had this little walkway area in the back, a little alleyway, right behind which would be Slice's Pizza. There was like this little alleyway back there. There's a house there. My buddy actually lived in that house. That's why we were back there.
Okay.
And then an alleyway, and then Tripp's, and then Captain Tripp's and Slice Pizza were in that whole plaza there. Mm-hmm. And we were sitting there, doing our thing, partaking in these lovely shrubberies that God blessed us with. And we're in the back, and some guy comes walking back, and he's like, "Yo!" He's all cracked out of his eyes. Cracked out. He's got the white lips going. I mean, he's bugged out.
Wow.
"Yo, you motherfuckers can't be smoking back here. Damn, the po-po gonna be coming. They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you." And we're like, "Nah, man, it's cool. It's cool. Yo, can I get hit of that?" "Yeah, come on. What's your name?" "My name's H." "What's your name?" "My name's Z." "What's that Z stand for?" "Crazy." And that's how it happened.
Really?
It's exactly how it happened, and it's stuck ever since. And then my buddy, God rest his soul, John Curley, and Joe Sweet, actually, my boy from Nine Ball, and my cousin, I love him dearly. They were all back there, and they're like, "Dude, that's it. You're Z for now on. You're Z."
That's good.
Oh, yeah, dude. So
You fucking
25 years
solidified it.
later, and here it is.
Here
Well,
it is.
24 years later.
Wow.
And I'm still stuck with that moniker. I tried to shake it a few times, too.
It's fucking right there, dude. People-
I know. And I can't. So I just ran with it for a while. It took a while. Well, at first it was like, yeah, cool, because like I'm going to use this on the radio. And then like after the radio days were done, I'm like, I don't need it, but everybody still knows me as Z.
Yeah.
Like, even, relatives call me Z.
It's one of those things that solidify. Like I have a buddy that we just call him Twitch, and it's just like from the longest story I could barely even remember it, and still to this day, it doesn't matter what we do in public. Yo, Twitch, what's up, man? It's just one of those things, man. It just fits. You look like a Z, like
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like a loser, right? Last letter in the alphabet. Last kid picked.
Fucking Zach. Come on, what do you think I felt?
But yeah, that's how it happened, and I got stuck with it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I got stuck with it. So, but it's all good, man. It's cool. There's
worse nicknames out there.
Right.
You know?
Well, it could be called Puke.
There was some.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
There's this guy in Waterville. Okay, it's a friend of my girlfriend's dad. God rest his soul as well. His name is Shitter.
No.
His nickname is Shitter.
Why?
That's it, and it's been his nickname forever. And everybody in Waterville, and if you're out there, Shitter, watching, anybody out there in Waterville probably knows Shitter.
Someone get a hold of Shitter. We got
His
call.
name is Shitter, dude.
Why Shitter?
I don't know.
That's fucking
I don't
crazy.
want to know.
Shitter.
But his name is Shitter, and he accepts it. It's his name. He introduces himself as Shitter.
Wow.
Everybody knows him as Shitter. He's got a freaking blog known as Shitter. No, he don't. But his real name is Shitter. Well, not his real name, but his nickname, and that's his moniker.
Wow, Shitter. Wow, that's a great one. Yeah. I would not want to wake up in the morning just reliving the life of a shitter.
Yeah, right. Imagine his wife, though. Oh, Shitter, come on, bang me, Shitter. Oh, Shitter. Oh, Shitter. Give it to me, Shitter.
Oh, that's terrible, dude. That's so terrible.
Give it to me, Shitter.
Shitter, I hope this is an awesome story.
I'm sorry, Shitter. If you're out there watching this somewhere's down the road.
We just want you to have a better nickname, bro.
It's too late, dude.
I know.
Because the guy's damn near 70.
Wow.
So
that's funny. I got to hear why that is. Somebody
but
reach
he's
out.
had this nickname forever.
That's hysterical.
Poor guy.
I'm hoping I never get tagged with one of those.
Right.
A shitter.
Well, you got a cool last name, Bonanza.
Bonanza's
That's a
pretty-
cool last name.
It's pretty flip off the tongue. I've gotten a lot of compliments in my days about the last name.
It's also high school in Las Vegas.
Is it
Yeah.
Bonanza High?
Bonanza High. It's
Are
where
you-
Chris Bryant from the Cubs went.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Bonanza High.
You know, I use that. I try to use that for like everything. Like I went to the Bagel Grove and they have a Bonanza bagel, and I'm like, I get a free one, right? Or like there's Bonanza Steakhouse and all that. I'm like, I get a free one,
Is there
right?
still Bonanza Steakhouse?
Yeah. And
Really?
I mean, I was going down to South Carolina to visit my mother.
Oh, down
and,
there. Okay.
Yeah, it was right off the interstate.
For sure.
And then the best one is like, oh my God, like the show. I'm like, yeah, my grandfather wrote the show. And they're like, really? I'm like, no, you fucking idiot. You think I'd be sitting here? You think I'd be here if he wrote Bonanza, the most
Right.
fucking TV Land's best running show ever?
Yeah, right.
That'd be great, though. I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won the 8th grade presidency using that theme song.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe that.
I remember that, dude. Yeah.
Zach Bonanza
It's a good one.
for class president.
Do you want to give any plugs or anything? I mean, we've been talking about the shows coming up, but is there anything immediate, like events wise, or something you guys got going on?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, thank you for giving me
got
this
you,
platform
dog.
to do that, actually.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, on June 26th, we're raising money for the ARC. And that's going to be at the Delta Marriott. They have that nice little lounge. They spent like $5 million, which used to be known as the Radisson.
Yeah.
I know it as the Sheridan. I'm old.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now it's the New Hartford Hotel?
No. It's the
Is
Delta Marriott. It's on Genesee Street, right in downtown
Oh,
Utica.
gotcha,
The
okay.
Delta Marriott used to be the Radisson.
Gotcha.
So,
Right next to the Landmark.
what landmark?
The Landmark building?
Yeah, up the road. Right. You're
Right,
thinking of
up-
Hotel Utica? But up the street next
yeah.
to Griffin's and
Yeah,
then across
yeah,
the
yeah.
street from the state office building.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking
It
of.
used to be the Radisson. Now it's the Delta Marriott. So
Okay.
we're doing a bartending gig, and all our tips are going to go to raise money for the ARC, the Association of Retarded Children.
Awesome.
And looking forward to that. That's from 5 to 7. So come have happy hour with the D. It's a Wednesday. It's June 26th, 5 to 7. You come in, have a couple pops. We're going to have a good time. DJ East One's going to be down there on the ones and twos, as the kids like to say. So, yeah, we'll be down there with some entertainment from him and bartending, and the whole crew's coming out. JP and Chicken and Todd and Gaffney and Adeline, and we're all jumping behind the bar. Heather's coming out from Unstoppable You Coach as well, and we're jumping behind the bar, and I haven't been behind the bar in a while, so I'm going
Awesome,
to get
man.
in my inner Sam Malone, if you will, and start slinging some drinks. So that's going on June 26th. Also, July 20th, we're having a great metal show. I'm really pumped about this. See, this is the cool thing, because we could do so many different things at the D.
Yeah.
And then we could do cool things like guest bartending, and then we could go do the Relay for Life, but then we can also produce shows.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to
Yeah.
do.
That's awesome.
And we're doing a great metal show at Sickenburger. Sickenburger Lane down on Varick Street. It's 624 Sickenburger Lane, Varick Street, 624 Varick Street. But we're bringing in a great band from New York City. I can't even talk anymore. More vape pen, please.
Yes, sir.
We're bringing in a great band from North Carolina, Outlier. In fact, I grew up with the guitar player. He went to Proctor with me.
Okay.
And, he was a great friend. Him and I were like 15, 16 years old, sitting in our room playing Metallica riffs together.
Nice.
And he's still playing thrash metal, and their band kicks ass, and they open for like Cannibal Corpse and Lamb of God, and they open up for all the heavy hitters down in the South all
Awesome.
the time. And they're popular. They're really popular. They sell a lot of merch and stuff like that, and it's cool to see a local guy do pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, he's doing pretty well, and it's an old buddy and an old chum. So we're bringing them in. They're called Outlier, and they're from the Raleigh area.
Awesome. And that's July
That's July 20th.
20th.
At Sickenburger Lane. The cool thing I like about Sickenburger Lane, it could be indoor, outdoor. So if it rains, we could go inside. They got the stage.
Yeah.
So it's a rain or shine event.
Awesome.
And if it's going to be nice and beautiful, which we hope, even though you never know around here,
Yeah, that big outdoor area.
they got that whole outdoor area.
a lot
But not
more.
only Outlier is playing, but also we got an incredible Pantera tribute band playing called Vulgar Display. I know you're a big Pantera guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
And they're incredible, dude.
That's awesome.
They're absolutely incredible. So we're going to have that
Vulgar
band-
Display.
Vulgar Display.
Great.
Chopping up all the Pantera hits. I can't wait. One of my favorite bands of all time. And then opening the show is my favorite local band, actually. I got to go out there and say that my favorite band from Utica, indie rock, hard rocking band, they're called Beside the Sun.
Okay.
And they're incredible. They really are. They're really, really good. They got a lot of great stuff happening. Good friends of mine. and everybody must go out and see this band because they're that good.
Excellent.
They're all over. I mean, they're a hard rock band, but they're kind of doing, they'll rap, they'll do some blues, they'll do some rock, they're straight up metal.
It's awesome, man.
They're
Sounds like a
very,
hell of a
very
time.
talented, and it's good to see a band like this out there. There's so much great talent in this area. There
Yeah,
really is.
for sure.
But a lot of these independent artists need to be seen, too, people. I mean, you
Yeah.
can go out there and see all the cover bands, and I love all the cover bands. I'm friends with them all, and
Yeah.
they're all great.
Yeah.
But let's open up the doors a little bit to the independents as well.
And without
You know,
these small bands, you don't have big bands. Let me
right,
tell
you
folks.
can't be a national band until you are a local band first.
And you build, yeah.
And that's how you build. So I'd like to see these independent bands start drawing more crowds.
For sure.
And what it comes down to is a lot of people in the area, we praise it and say what a great city we love and stuff like that, but sometimes they need to be spoon-fed and they can't step outside the box.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to ask people of Utica to start stepping outside the box a little more.
Yeah.
Open up your mind a little bit. What's the old saying that Gerbil says? If you open up your ears, your mind will follow.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, there
this
you
is
go.
what I'm trying to get Utica to do a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's coming around a little bit, so I'd like to see the music scene flourish like it used to in the 90s again.
Absolutely.
I would really like to see that.
It was cool. Last year they did that party right on Genesee Street, the concert right on Jenny. I went to that. It was like a free concert.
Yeah, we did a couple actually last year.
Yeah.
So we did Summerfest, which was great.
It's coming up again.
And I got to tell you about that one, June 13th and 14th. We'll be down there. Please come hang out with us,
Oh, I
brother.
will be, for
we
sure.
have so much fun at
For sure.
Summerfest. This year I've
I don't know how much I'll remember, but I'll be there.
yeah, the beer flows. That's
Yeah.
for damn sure. It's a great thing. Gina's bringing back the whole good old summertime vibe. And I love it because this year it's more of a festival than last year. It was just like a couple hours, but this year it's like a weekend thing. Well,
Yeah.
it's a Thursday, Friday, but it starts from like noon and it's done at 9. So it's a full day thing with food trucks and music all day long. All the great local bands are playing. There's a shit ton of local bands, and then culminating at the end with the grand finale of Rare Earth, who was like the first white Motown band. That's their little fact.
Wow.
And they got that Celebrate song, and
Cool.
they recovered a lot of. They covered a lot of the Temptations. They did
Yeah.
a lot of Temptation songs, but they put their own psychedelic twist to it. And
Cool.
Amazing, amazing band. So that's going to happen on June 13th.
That'll
and
be
14th.
really fun.
And then the metal show on July 20th, and we'll be out at Modown during the 4th of July weekend. And Chicken's going to be set up for Relay for Life coming up really soon. That's next week. I'll be out at Taste of Syracuse. So we're constantly all over the place. So if anybody's interested in seeing where we're at, they can go to disruptionnetwork.net and check out our events calendar.
For sure, guys. Yeah, I mean, clearly you're seeing these guys have a presence in the community, and it's because they're bringing something good. I like to bring out the old walking bass as we kind of wrap up.
I love it.
And
The smooth sounds of Zach Bonanza here
ladies and gentlemen,
on the Lost Guidance podcast with Zach Bonanza.
coming at you with the funky hour. It's been great talking to you, man. And this
You
is,
too, man. This is a lot of fun.
I love sitting down.
Let's
and
do
doing
it
this.
again.
For sure. We'll be doing some more collaborations.
My invitation is always open for you to come on EC Radio. so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. And I've had such a great time every time I get on the D. And again, guys, check them out. Look for them out and about, and they got quite a presence, and they're going to be doing a lot this summer. They do a lot in the community, and they're bringing you tons of content. So you just be audacious not to go check them out. So we'll see where they're at in 10 years. You never know, might be multinational by then. And but other than that, man, it's been great kind of just getting to know you guys and getting to see that there are people out here trying to make some good content for everybody in the area. And it's all about supporting each other. We highlighted it a million times in this podcast.
Amen, brother.
It's community, and it's getting your ass in motion and saying you want to do it, and then realizing once you're in the midst of it that there are people there to help you, and that's what it's about. That's kind, compassion, that's community, and that's what the Utica area is bringing to the table right
Indeed.
now. So it's awesome to see. We'll see you again this next Sunday with, who do I have next Sunday? Oh, Kevin Hohen. My man Kevin Hohen's coming on next Sunday. Kevin was on Mount Everest twice. He climbed Kilimanjaro, and last summer he had dinner with the Dalai Lama.
Dude,
So this is going to be a hell of an episode next week, guys.
it's a renaissance man.
I know. He's a man of, he's a doctor of pharmacy, so he's just a very intelligent person. I'm really looking forward to speaking with him. So stay tuned for that. Some people reminded me that I forgot to do the weekly check-in this week. We'll be doing that later this evening. I just like to see how everybody's doing. If you need to let something out, let's just share how your week was. So we're doing the weekly check-in now, and that's a real fun thing, kind of hearing from people. And
Zach Bonanza, local psychiatrist.
ladies and gentlemen, Lost Guidance Podcast brings you the 30-second armchair psychology. Guys, stay on it. Stay active this summer. Step outside your comfort zone. Go see some of these shows that
Exactly.
Z was talking about. And more than anything, try not to get lost out there. We'll see you. Thank you so much, Z. And have a good Sunday.
Keep shining, brother.